Hey everybody, welcome back to Trey's Models. Today we're going to go off the wing thing and do a 48 Ford Woody or Monogram in 1/25th scale. We start out with the frame and getting that glued together with the cross supports, and then onto the axles. And kind of a weird situation here, I got a short shot on one side of the axle. Not a big deal, I was able to work through it. Okay, working with this frame assembly was probably what took the longest in this whole kit. Putty, sand, re-establish the holes, putty a little bit more, sand a little bit more, get rid of the heat sinks on the side of the frame, and then finally get everything smoothed out. Got the instrument panel finished out, picked out the details with some Model Master enamels, and came back with some canopy glue to simulate the glass over the gauges. Okay, on to the rest of the interior. Spoiler alert, this is going to be a pseudo beach cruiser, and every beach cruiser needs a cooler. So I took some sheet styrene and constructed I guess you could say it's an igloo. Kind of looks like an igloo. It's a cooler. To tie in the rest of the interior with the beach cruiser scheme, I took some pictures and printed them out on paper, soaked them in PVA, and then worked them around to cover the seats, and then folded up some to make them look like beach blankets. Every beach cruiser needs a moonroof, so cut one out, did a little modifications to the top of the vinyl, and made it happen. I'm doing some body modifications, and I wanted to get rid of a lot of the chrome accents on the sides of the fender flares and on the hood. So I removed those, smoothed them out, and gave them a finish sand. Onto the mill, an old flathead, put some plug wires on it, added some plumbing, and painted it up with some Model Masters enamel. Onto the chassis assembly and the engine installation. I custom made an exhaust system with a couple of cherry bombs. Anybody remember cherry bombs from back in the day? And then I came back with some pastels, weathered it up, got everything set up, and now it's almost ready for the body install. So at this point I've already painted the roof black, got everything prepped for the wood, and came back with some Testor's brown for a base start. For the base color, I put down some gold, followed up by some House of Color Brandywine Cosmic Pearl. This is automotive paint that I had left over from a full-scale project, and I had a little bit left, wanted to experiment with it and come up with a different color rather than just like a straight-up candy apple. So I went with more of a darker tone with the gold underlay instead of using the silver. And that's how you control the colors on the candies. Whatever you put underneath dictates what you're going to see over the top because it's transparent. So I got the base color and the candy on, and I didn't like the dark brown that I put on the centers. So I came back with a lighter Testor's tan because the decals were going to be dark, and it just wasn't going to work. I didn't think it far enough through. So this is what we wound up with. So this is the bottom chassis after a final seal coat of Testor's dull coat. And then I came back and totally forgot about the turn signals. So I came back and Frenched some in right underneath the headlights. Had to do some touch-up work. Got lucky, didn't damage the outside finish, so it worked out okay. So every beach cruiser needs a surfboard. So I took a paint stick, cut it, shaped it, sanded it. Then I picked out a picture online, printed that out, soaked it in some PVA glue, put that on, cut a fin from plastic, sanded it, shaped it, and instant surfboard. So I used a 2K top coat urethane on the candy colored areas, and then I came back with the pin wash and highlighted the wood areas. All in all, it was a fun build. I had a blast doing it. A little bit of scratch building on the cooler and the surfboard and modifying the exhaust underneath. It was a really enjoyable build, with the exception of the little tedious work working out the frame underneath with all of its heat sink and fit issues on that part of it. The rest of the kit went together really well. No issues with that at all. Model on, guys. Appreciate you watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe.